So are you also still writing the job descriptions manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to automatically create job descriptions using an AI agent. So like you, I also used to manually create the job descriptions, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the job details into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the job description, which I'm further going to add in my Google Doc and then back again into my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs, and once again Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'll show you how to use an AI agent to automatically generate job description based on role titles and few input details. So whether you are an HR professional or a startup founder, this automation helps you to produce clear and well-structured job posts in seconds, saving hours of manual writing and ensuring consistency across your listings. So let's dive in and simplify your hiring process with the help of an AI agent in Pabbly Connect. So job description, something like this will be generated whenever you enter the input details like the title, responsibilities, required skills, and the location. So first I'm just going to show you the proper working of this automation. For that I'm just going to simply enter the job title, then I'm just going to enter the responsibilities, I'm just going to enter the required skills, and at last I'm just going to enter the location. And once I'm just going to enter all of these details, automatically a job description will be generated using my AI agent in Pabbly Connect. So we are just going to wait for a few seconds till the job description is getting generated using these same details. And as you can see, the job description has been generated. So I'm just going to open it. And over here, you can see the job description has been generated for content manager. Over here, you can see all the details. So yes, you can see that in real time, within seconds, the job description got generated and added right over here in my spreadsheet. So this is no magic. This is the power of automation, which we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that, you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it's opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard, and to get started I'm simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it's asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, but if you want to create a new, you can go to this create new folder button and create your own. I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as, and after entering the workflow name I'm simply going to click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started I'm simply going to select my trigger application. So for my trigger application I'm simply going going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL, and we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So for that, I'm just going to copy this webhook URL and I'm just going to open my Google Sheets. And after opening my Google Sheets, what we're just going to do is I'm just going to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. We are just going to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So for that, I'm just going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. I'm just going to type Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here. And as you can see that this is the extension which I have already installed. But if you haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here, and you can install the extension right from here. And once you're just going to install the extension, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. And once you refresh the spreadsheet, automatically you're going to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this option, you have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then towards this initial setup. Alright, and now it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger columns. We are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is D. So the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So for me, the trigger column is D, but for you, it can be anything else too. It depends upon your spreadsheet. And after entering the webhook URL and the trigger column, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit. And now it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go towards this extensions Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here we are simply going to switch on this button which is send on event. So it is really important to switch on this button, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in the spreadsheet, automatically the details will be sent towards the webhook URL. And after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. For that, I'm simply going to enter the job title. I'm just going to enter the responsibilities, required skills, and the location. And once I'm just going to enter all of these details, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and now Pabbly has captured the response of these details only. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and as you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. And with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Alright, and now whenever I'm just going to add these details into my Google Sheet, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered. So now I'm just going to move on forward. Now what I want is I want to automatically create job descriptions using an AI agent, right? So for my action, I'm just going to select it as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI right over here and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after opening this page, I'm simply going to go towards this create new secret key button. Now it is asking me for the key name and the project to select. So I'm simply going to enter my key name, which is job descriptions. And now for the project, I'm simply going to select my project and click on this create secret key button. And now I'm just going to show you that my key has already been created right over here. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're just going to paste this key right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now I'm just going to move on further. Now it is asking me to select the AI model, so I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And over here you can see that I have successfully entered my prompt, and I'm just going to enter the input details right over here. So one by one, I'm just going to enter all of these details, but we are not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the job title, then I'm just going to map the responsibilities right over here, then I'm just going to map the required skills for the job right over here. And now at last, I'm just going to map the location. And after mapping all of these details, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me a job description using these details. For that, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the job description using these details. We just have to wait for a few seconds. Over here, you can see the job description which is generated, and I'm just going to add this job description in a Google Doc, and then we're just going to add that Google Doc link back again into our spreadsheet. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step. Now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs. This time for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document, because first I'm just going to create a blank document in my Google Docs, and then I'm just going to add the paragraph which is the job description which my AI agent generated into that blank document. For that, I'm just going to simply click on this connect right over here. It is asking me for the same once again. So if you have already connected your Google Docs, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, sign in with Google right over here. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in with Google, now Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Docs. And now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document name. So I want the document name to be the job title, and then at last I'm just going to add this JD, which is job description statically. And now I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request, with the help of which I will be able to create a blank document. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully received the response that we have successfully created a blank document titled this. And now I'm just going to add the job description in this blank document. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. For the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs right over here once again. But this time for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as append a paragraph to a document. Click on this connect. Recently I've connected my Google Docs, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And now over here, I'm just going to select the document in which I want to add the text. But over here, I'm not going to select the document by selecting it right from here, but instead I'm just going to map it, because I want this to turn dynamic. All right, for that, I'm just going to simply switch on this mapping button, erase this document ID right from here, and map the document ID from the response of my previous step. So I'm simply going to look for the document ID right over here, and I'm just going to map it. And after mapping this document ID, we are just going to move on further and map this inserted text. So over here, what is the text which I want to insert, which is the AI generated job description. So I'm simply going to open the response of my OpenAI and map this message content and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this AI generated job description into this Google Docs. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add the link of this Google document right over here in my spreadsheet. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step, and first we're just going to make this Google Docs a shareable one. For that, I'm just going to select my action application as Google Drive. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a file with anyone, and then we are simply going to click on this connect. Once again, it is going to ask me for the same. So if you haven't connected your Google Drive account, you can go towards this add a new connection, sign in with Google and connect your Google Drive account. But I have already connected, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, with this we have successfully connected our Google Drive account. And now once again, I'm just going to simply map this file ID from the response of my previous step. So I'm simply going to map this so that this field can also turn into a dynamic one. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, over here you can see that we have received this web view link. So this is the same link which we are going to add in our spreadsheet. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. Select the action application as Google Sheets, but this time for the action event, I'm just going to select it as update cell value. So I'm simply going to select update cell value right over here and click on this connect. I've already connected my Google Sheets, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now with this, we have successfully connected. So I'm just going to select the spreadsheet, which is job description generator. Then I'm just going to select the sheet, and now it is asking me for the range. So it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated here. So over here, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and as you can see, the range which needs to be updated is E4. So I'm simply going to enter E4 right over here, but you can notice that right now it is E4, but with every new response received, it is going to change. It will be E5, E6 and so on. But you can notice that this E is constant, only the row is changing. So I'm simply going to keep that E as static, but I'm just going to map the row index because the row row is changing. And now I'm just going to move on further, and I'm just going to map the value of the cell, which is the web view link. So I'm simply going to map it and click on the save and send test request. And once I'm just going to do so, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this Google Doc link into our Google Sheets. And as you can see, the link has been added. So I'm just going to open the preview, and over here you can see that this is the job description which my AI agent generated, and it has been added right over here in my spreadsheet. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what is going to happen is that whenever I'm just going to add all of these 4 details right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically using an AI agent and Pabbly Connect, job description will be generated and added right over here. Like I showed you in the starting of this video, we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend. We just have to sit back and relax. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and this video too. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.